Good morning. This lesson is for my Integrated 1 class, but before I get started, I want to say I hope that everyone's doing all right out there. I'm not sure how I'm going to title this lesson, but I'm going to title it how I title it in the title. But what I am sure of is this is the 5th lesson in my series of lessons about solving equations. Now again, this series of lessons is created to answer the question that a student asked me a long time ago. How do I know what to do first? How do I know what to do next? And in this lesson, I present the 6 steps. This is our final list. Now there's going to be 2 more lessons after this, 5 or 6 or 7 lessons, I don't quite remember, but this is our final list of steps that we're going to use to solve equations. Our first step, our first step is to eliminate fractions by multiplying everyone by the denominator. Our second step, which is a new step, is going to be to distribute, and the clue is you have parentheses. Our third step is going to be to combine like terms on each side of the equal sign. You can't go across, you're on each side of the equal sign. Our fourth step is to get all variables to one side of the equal sign using addition or subtraction. Our fifth step is to add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the equal sign. And our clue is I have a plus or a minus between a number and a variable, and they're on the same side of the equal sign. And our last step is to divide away a number from the variable side of the equal sign. There's nothing between the number and the variable. All right. So I have a little quick review on the distributive property. I have the general example, which is the example using letters, and I'll show you how we do this. We're going to distribute A to B plus C, and what that means I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply A times B and A times C, and I'm going to get the following. A times B plus A times C. Exactly what I just said. All right. So I have 2 examples. I'd like to do the distributive property to show you how it's supposed to look. I think the class just got let out. Alright, so now I have 3 times x and 3 times negative 4. So 3 times x is going to get me to 3x. And a positive 3 times a negative 4 is going to get me to a negative 12. So that's how I distribute here. Remember, we're multiplying here. One more example of distributing negative 2 times a 4x and a negative 2 times a 5, or negative 5. Negative 2 times a 4x is going to get me to a negative 8x. And a negative 2 times a negative 5 is going to get me to a plus 10. So here's a couple examples again of the distributive property. So when you see parentheses, that means that you have to do this. I have 2 examples for today, and I'm going to go through my 6 steps. I'm going to really stress distributing. But again, all the steps should be considered as we go through these steps, and again, it answers a question that a student asked me many years ago, and it was a really good question. How do I know what to do first? How do I know what to do next? And hopefully this series of steps answers that for you. All right. So I want to solve for the variable, and I'm going to write down 1 through 6, so I'm going to remind myself to go through the steps and see if I have the step. If I have the step, I do the step. If not, I move on. So step 1, can I eliminate fractions by multiplying everyone by the denominator? No, I don't have fractions in this, so I can't do step 1. Step 2, can I distribute? Yes, I can, because I have parentheses, so I can do step 2 now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute the 2 to the x and the 2 to the 6. 2 times x is going to give me 2x, and 2 times 6 is going to give me to 12. And that's equal to 8. All right. Step 3, can I combine like terms on each side of the equal sign? On the left side of the equal sign, these are not like terms, so I can't do that. There's no one to combine over here, so I cannot do step 3. Step 4, get all variables to one side of the equal sign using addition or subtraction. I don't need to do that because all my x's are on the left-hand side. Step 5, can I add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the equal sign? Well, I do have a number. I have 2 numbers on the variable side of the equal sign, but I only have 1 number that has a plus sign between it and the x. So I need to get rid of the 12 using the subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 12 to both sides. Minus 12, minus 12. All right, so the 12s on my left are going to cancel out. I'm left with 2x, and 2x is equal to, if I have 8, I owe 12. That means that I still owe 4. I owe more than I have, so my outcome is going to become negative. Now, I'm to my last step. I have to divide away the number from the variable side. So to show division, I draw a little line and put the number with the variable directly underneath it. The 2's divide each other out and become the number 1. So x is equal to 2 goes into negative 4, negative 2 times. So here's a problem that I did step 2, step 5, step 6. And it does help to think about equations as just being, or solving equations as just being a combination of these steps. And that really does demystify a lot of problems for the students if we think about it as just a series of steps. All right, the second example here. Again, I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 next to it, and I'm just going to work my way through. Do I have fractions to get rid of in this problem? No, I do not. Do I have parentheses? Yes, I do. So that means that I can distribute. So I'm going to pass out a -4 to the 2x and a -4 to the -5. So here I get 10 minus 3x equals -4 times 2x is going to give me a -8x. -4 times -5 gets me to +20. So I did that step. Step 3, can I combine like terms on each side of the equal sign? No, I cannot, because there's no one to combine on the left side, no one to combine on the right side. Remember, it has to be on each side, not both sides, each side. Step 4, can I get all variables to one side of the equal sign using addition or subtraction? Yes, I have variables on both sides. So I think I'm going to move the -8x to the other side by adding 8x to both sides. So step 4 and step 5, the math behind it is basically the same. Okay, so let's see here. The 8x on the right cancels. I owe 3, I have 8. I have more than I owe, so I have 5x remaining. So it's 10 plus 5x equals to 20. All right, so let's see here. Step 5, can I add or subtract away a number from the variable side of the equal sign? Meaning, do I have a number that has a plus or minus between it and the variable? Yeah, the 10 has a plus between it and the variable, so that's the number I'm going to get rid of. It's a positive 10. Since it's not telling me it's negative, it's positive, so I'm going to have to subtract the 10 to both sides. Okay, so I'm just going to do step 5. The 10 on the left cancels out. I'm left with 5x on the left, and that's equal to 20 minus 10 is 10. And I have to do step 6 because my x is not isolated. So I'm going to divide both sides by the number with the variable, divide away the number from the variable side of the equal sign. That's the number I need to divide. So here I'm going to get x is equal to, I need 2 5s to get to 10, so x is equal to 2. So here's an example of me using our new step in the 6 steps to solve equations. Hopefully this is helpful to you and you're understanding that you can work your way through these problems by just following the steps. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Actually, before I do again, I want to really reinforce that it's about this. We recognize what each step looks like, and it's going to get simpler and simpler and simpler. So practice does help. Don't be too frustrated. Just, if you just keep trying, you will get better. It's one of these amazing things. You see students, once they get it, they get it. It's absolutely beautiful and phenomenal. But this does help you guys, and I hope that you're writing 1 through 6 next to each problem to give you a guide to work your way through these problems. So I'm going to now finally end this one here. Again, I hope everyone is doing all right out there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.